Hi folks, this is John from Sharp Mountain Games, and today we're going to take a look at StarDark, which is a special supplement for use with ShadowDark, which would enable you to play Star Wars characters if you're playing something like ShadowDark. Now, first of all, let me give you the background on this. It's from Late Night Typing by Karsten Rossner. That's his handle on drivethrurpg, and he has a bunch of other products there. And I've communicated with him a bit online. I'm a really big fan of his solo channel. I do some solo role-playing myself. I just think he does it so well, and it really would benefit you if you want to check out his channel. I have the link below, and I have a link below to his drivethrurpg. Now, he was kind enough to send these to me, even without asking for a review. He was just sending them to me. He said, maybe I could use them in my solo role-playing. So I wanted to definitely, give you a little review or preview of them. They're very inexpensive. I think one is $3.28 that I'm going to show you today, and the other is like $2.99 on Drive-Thru US. So, a couple things. This is a supplement for ShadowDark. Now, if you don't play ShadowDark, but you play pretty much any other OSR kind of game, maybe you play Basic Fantasy or you play Old School Essentials, you could easily adapt this. Second point, Karsten is a one-man operation, like many people who publish on drivethrurpg are. So he does use some AI art throughout this. So if you have a problem with AI art, just know that in my review today, I'm really just going to focus on the writing and the content that he's giving you. I mean, if you don't like AI art, I don't want the discussion to turn into an argument about that. So let's get into StarDark. So he gives you some licensing, tells you what it is, and then he starts to give you some backgrounds that you could use. And you would roll on a D20 here. He gives you plenty of different backgrounds, which are more unique to a space opera. If you want to play Star Wars, if you want to play Firefly, if you want to play something like Traveler or Star Frontiers. And there's three classes. The Scoundrel, so your Han Solo type. The Soldier, which is more of a warrior type. And the Wielder, which is obviously your psionic character or your Jedi type. And then for all of these, he doesn't give you full character creation, but he does say, okay, how many hit points would this be? But you know how to roll up abilities in Old School, or you could use a point-buy system that you prefer. So it's very easy. And then he gives here, especially a lot of detail with the Jedi class, how to use the power, which is obviously the Force. And give some difficulty classes to suggest. And then ShadowDark also uses talents, which I believe you get one at every odd level. I had to ask a friend of mine who's run ShadowDark for me. And they're random. So they let you really, you could choose them if you wanted, or you could let it go random and let each character be very, very different. And then now, obviously, if you're playing ShadowDark or Old School Essentials, you're going to need to think about, well, how is money different? Of course, your equipment list is going to be different, and your damage. And it gives you, conversions and ways to use all that, tables here, if you want to have blaster pistols and things like that. Also gets into like the beam sword, which would be your lightsaber. Armor, how armor might differ a little bit because, you're not walking around in plate mail as much in Star Wars. And some other more high-tech gear that would be different than a standard ShadowDark or Old School game. Of course, now, Starship rules are a big deal. You need them if you're going to you do a space opera with your Old School system. So he gets into how to rate some ships. Now, I haven't had a chance to play through this, but it seems very standard. Armor class for the different kind of ships, and speed and fire control, which could give you a bonus to your 2-hit rating. And gives you plenty of sample starships. So certainly get things like, your Millennium Falcon and your Starfighters and your Star Destroyers and things like that. And then some simple starship combat rules, which again are not that different from your baseline D20. And some things about distances and chases and hyperspace travel. And some information on how to generate a random space sector. And you can roll. So is it a breadbasket or urban sprawl? And I think this is a D12, but I'm not positive. We'll see here. And a quick example of a random sector map. And that's the end of this supplement. Now there's a similar supplement, and let me show you that one, called StarDark Adventures in the Outer Fringe. Now how is this one different? This one only gives you 2 classes. It gives you the Scoundrel and it gives you the Soldier, but it does give you a little bit more information on how to create your character. This one, I believe, is intended to be more like a solo board game, or you could use it again for solo role-playing. Now, for this other one, let me show you the title again in case I missed it. StarDark Adventures in the Outer Fringe. You don't get the wielder class. So you don't get basically your Jedi class here. So this would be more if you want to play a Han Solo and Chewbacca type game, or maybe Traveler. So some of it's the same, and he does get into the ships, but he gets into a little more detail in creating your sector. Gives you a little more detail on some rules. If you want to play this, again, more like a solo game or a board game. And then he also gives you some more planetary actions, things you might do. Because if you're a smuggler, you're trying to sell legal cargo or illegal cargo and sell illegal, buy legal gear. And gives you some rules, and so you don't have to make a ruling on everything. And then there's a few more, like there's a job table here that I don't believe is in the role-playing one. And some more random tables to get you started. And I'm not going to go through everything here. Military blockades, space encounters. So I would say if you're interested in bringing classes into your Shadow Dark or old school game, you probably want just the straight up StarDark, because you get 3 classes there. I should also mention he doesn't give any special rules for different species. It's more flavor. So if you want to play a Wookiee, just make sure to beef up your strength stats and maybe your charisma stat if you want to intimidate people. If you want to be a droid, maybe your intelligence stat would be pretty high for repairing. So again, we get a bunch of tables here. So both of those products are available on drivethrurpg, and he also has some other products too. He's one called Star Knave. If you're playing the Knave version based on Ben Milton's Knave, and you want to adapt that for Star Wars, that's available. So check it out if you're inclined, and take care, everyone. So here at Sharp Mountain Games, we have a few adventures in print, such as the Star Mermaid, the Dwarven Pickup Truck, and the Sky Tree, and you can check those out at Amazon, Lulu, and drivethrurpg. Also over on drivethrurpg, we have a number of other adventures and character classes, and even some stock art. On Roll20, we have some map packs and character cards, so you can check those out if you're interested. And as always, please like and subscribe, and we hope to see you again real soon.